Is it important to do these things together as a couple? We've had some issues in some areas, especially when we first started living together and first started, being in a serious partnership. And these things sometimes resurface even after you've been married almost 5 years, like in our situation. Haven't they, babe? A few times.
Oh, yes. By the way, happy 5 years living in the house.
Oh, yeah, it's true. 5 years, and we haven't killed each other yet. Imagine.
Yet.
We've come close. There've been some close
a couple
calls.
times.
Yeah. So not too long ago, I was on vacation, and I had a few weeks off, and you weren't working yet, but it was rare that I was off that consecutively. I had 2 weeks off.
2 weeks off,
right?
yeah. It was nice in July.
It was nice. We did a lot together in the day. We spent a lot of time together.
Did some day trips
around
the city.
Did a lot of couple stuff. And then one night, so normally Tina and I, we go to bed together at the same time. We always, something that we've done, right, for a long time together.
More or less. We always go to bed at the same time.
Yeah. But then during my vacation, there was one night where I wanted to stay up later, do my thing.
What, DJ?
Yeah, DJ, have fun. And you looked annoyed at me. You looked annoyed because you didn't want to go to bed at different times.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so important for some people, or maybe one of the person in the relationship, to go to bed at the same time? Why?
I felt like you were the one that stressed a lot of importance on that.
Maybe at the beginning?
No, even like last week.
I did?
Yeah.
So wait a
find
minute.
Like you always like when we go to bed together. Like sometimes, okay, especially when I was off and you were at work, I would want to stay up and watch some shows, or, I'd be on my phone reading the news and this and that. And you would get mad at me sometimes. I would stay on the couch and you would go upstairs and you'd look at me and be like, "You're not coming up with me?" And I was like, no, because I want to watch TV. And I know that it's happened sometimes the opposite, where I've gone to bed and you've stayed up.
And you've wanted me to go to bed.
And I wanted you to go to bed. But
That's
I think
weird.
because we go to bed all the time together, I don't know, it's nice that we continue to do that.
I know.
But I do understand. Like, look, I'm not an idiot. Like, it's fine if once or twice a week or whatever it is.
So it's funny because I called you out on it.
That we go to bed at different times. It's okay because you got to wake up earlier than I do.
Yeah, I know.
But now the thing is, I'm back at work, so I'm tired. Like, there's nights when like at 8 o'clock I'm sleeping, or I'm sleeping on you on the couch. Like, so when you say let's go to bed, sure, no problem, let's go to bed.
But it's funny because I've called you out on it. And then I honestly forgot that I did the same thing to you.
But we're both guilty of it. We're human. We're human. Like, it's gonna happen. Some nights you're gonna be really tired and you're gonna want to go to bed. Like, some nights you tell me, I look at the clock. It's 7:30. You're like, "Babe, I'm going to bed." And I was like, "Really?" But I'm like, if you're going to bed, it's because you're tired. But don't spend another hour on your phone while in bed. If you're tired, you're tired. Just go to sleep.
But I know some couples, they always go to bed at different times. They even sleep in separate rooms. It's crazy.
No, that I don't understand.
That we've never done.
We've never experienced that, but to each their own. Maybe that works for some couples, but it doesn't for us. Like, we have a king size bed, and sometimes you joke that we should just have a single because
all
over
your body heat are all over me. Her legs all over my body. I'm like, get the hell off me. What are you doing?
And then when we had my pregnancy pillow in between us.
It's too much, man.
Too much.
But we and that's a whole other thing, because I think you've seen your parents do like everything together. Like,
everything.
Literally everything together, to the point where we see one of your parents and we're like, oh, where's
the other one?
Where's the other one?
Well, my parents work together.
That's true, which is crazy.
Live together, sleep together, travel together. They do everything together. They just
bless.
don't go in to work together. So my dad will go in early in the morning. My mom will go in a couple of hours later. So I think they get a bit of their space in the morning from each other, which is probably healthy for them.
You need that, because I think you see us as one of those couples, don't you?
I do, because that's what I've witnessed my whole life. For 35 years, I've seen my parents just do everything together.
See, where I saw the other side, I saw my parents were rarely together.
Yeah, I know. You described that. Like, your mom would work. Your mom's a nurse. Your dad worked during the day. Your mom worked night shifts as a nurse overnight. And
they weren't even together that much. So for me, it's like I've definitely I tried to get used to that, because it's almost like, well, what do you mean? You're going there alone, or we're not going together? It's like, it's kind of a thing, that we kind of, have been accustomed to.
Yeah, it
It's
just reminded
strange.
me of a birthday party you brought Sia to before
Yeah.
the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
So you went by yourself with Sia, and I
Yeah.
stayed behind with Maya because
Yeah.
she was maybe like 3-4 weeks old at
Yeah,
the
we
time.
separated. Yeah,
And we separated, and I was like, "This is weird. Like,
it's kind of nice.
my daughter's going to a birthday party, and I'm not there, whereas all the other mothers are there."
Yeah,
And I had a
know.
newborn at home, so it was understandable.
It's just so hard to do every single little thing together. Like I know even we like for the longest time we've done groceries together.
Yeah, especially when we first moved in
Yeah.
together, we would do groceries together.
And
on
we
the
go through
weekends,
every aisle.
and we'd argue about what to buy, what not to buy.
Yeah, it's
And then I got fed up, and I'm like, "That's it. I'm going to do groceries, and I'm going to buy whatever I want. You don't like it, too bad."
yeah, because we'd get in stupid fights
Yeah.
about like what to
In the
buy, what
aisles.
not. It was ridiculous. Now I'm like, this makes no
Yeah,
sense.
because you like to look at the sodium content of every little thing we're about to buy, and
Yeah,
then
that's
we look
true.
at it or the sugar, and
It's true.
I have it in my hands, ready to put it in the cart, and you just like, no.
I'm
I
a
have to-
buzzkill.
So I have to put it away. So unless it's barbecue chicken and vegetables, it ain't making it into our cart when I'm doing groceries.
I'm a
with you.
buzzkill when we go groceries.
Otherwise, when
I
I'm
know.
by myself, I'll buy some junk. I'll
course
buy
you
the
will.
chips. I'll buy some chocolates, whatever.
But it's crazy. Even like eating together, that's important in our house too.
That is number one.
I know it's number one for you, and it's funny because I didn't even grow up like that. I didn't even grow up
I don't
having
know how.
meals.
I know you guys were you were 3
It's
kids.
not that we never ate together, but it wasn't like a thing. But for you, the way you see it is like always, no matter what you're doing.
Always. I never ate dinner especially dinner. I never ate dinner by myself. Breakfast is okay because everybody wakes up at different times. So I remember like growing up, most of the times I would eat breakfast with my dad because we were both up at the same time. And if my mother came into the kitchen at the same time, holy cow, was she disrupt the whole culture that me and my dad used to have. Like, we would be nice and calm. This and that. My mom would come in and be like, roadkill, that's it.
A tornado.
Tornado would come in.
That's funny.
So, and then lunch was always whatever. And then dinner, my parents and I would always eat together. And I know, and I carried on those traditions with you and with our family. It's super important because that's like when families bond. They talk about their day. You know, it's a sacred time. Even if it's half an hour, it is what it is. But you're sitting down, and it's important quality time together.
Yeah, no, I get
I
it.
want to continue doing that, even if we end up having like different schedules and stuff. But if there's a time that we can find in the day and eat together, it goes a long way, and our kids will always remember that.
Yeah, no, I understand that. There were times though at one point where I would start eating before you, and you'd be like, "What are you doing, baby? You're not gonna wait for me?"
No.
You don't do that anymore, but you did at one point.
Me?
Yeah, you did. Like I'd sit down, and then you'd be like, "Okay, getting your plate or whatever," and then I would like maybe take a bite. You've called me out on it a few times.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Early on.
But now I just tell you, eat.
Now you're like, hurry up
I'm like, hurry up, eat, because one of us has to be done
for the kids,
before the kids.
basically.
Yeah.
But and I was shocked that you used to call me out on that. I'm like, what are you kidding me? I just took a bite. And that used to matter to you because you looked at that as maybe being disrespectful.
I guess, but maybe.
You don't remember
now
that?
No, it doesn't bother me. No, it doesn't.
Are you
no.
sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because I still think sometimes to myself, like, should I take a bite? Or, like, I understand waiting for everybody to be seated. I understand that.
Yeah.
But now, I don't know. Sometimes I see we're sitting down, the kids are eating at the same time. You're about to sit down. I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to start eating.
Yeah, no, it's okay if there's, but then sometimes it will bother me that you're eating before me. Because you eat really fast, and I don't eat as fast as you. And I look at your plate, and you're like halfway done your pasta, and I haven't even taken a bite yet. I'm like, okay, this makes no sense.
And one thing that Tina always does, which is funny, and maybe you go through this in your relationship. Relationship. No, not that you separate your food. We know that.
Okay.
Fine. Tina separates her food, or her food can't
touch.
They can't touch each other. But also when we have like a food that we share in the middle, let's say it's a bowl of fries or a bowl of
especially potatoes
or something. She is so worried that I'm going to take all of them.
Because it's happened.
Yeah. So you just take your huge, like you take like half of them right off the bat because you're scared that I'm just going to go to town.
Because I know you will.
Which I've done in the past.
Yeah. When was it? Just a few weeks ago. You ate like almost all the Caesar salad before I even had one leaf.
So slow. I'm like, hurry up. Like I inhale.
I just finished my meat. I'm like, no, now I'm going to eat my salad. I don't mix the two together.
Such weird ways of eating.
No, but dinner is honestly sacred. Like it's so important to eat dinner together, and I would highly encourage everyone to do that. It's so important.
But
I understand if there's different schedules.
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
who's,
yeah.
you know, if kids when they're older
I
and they're
get it.
studying, or if parents have opposite schedules and one's home and the other one's working. Okay, fine, but like, it's important to set aside, a couple times a week or even the weekend. Say, okay, this is dinner time. Everyone sit down together. You want to have your friends over? Okay, no problem. Everyone sits down at the table at the same time to eat. Boyfriends, girlfriends,
Get the
whatever.
phones away. Get the phones
away.
I know.
No
We're
phones on the
guilty of it,
table.
though,
Yeah, but
sometimes.
it's rare that we'll have
know.
our phones on the table while we're eating, because if we do, we know that's it. Game over. The kids are going to want to like look at our phones. They're going to want to, oh, show me pictures. I want to see video.
I know.
So we got to keep the phones away from the table.
And another thing too, because we're talking about things that we do together as a couple, like all the time, and we actually have friends who don't watch TV together,
TV.
and they have TVs in different rooms, different floors. And look, I understand when you have like teenagers and stuff, and but these are parents our age. Some of them have kids, some of them don't, and they're watching TV, separate floors, separate rooms, and they're okay with it. It works for them. But for us, when we heard that, we're like, oh my God, like
Yeah, it's strange to us.
never do that.
Because like you would think that two people would be able to come together and find a show or find a type of series or movies that would interest both of them, that they would sit down and watch it together.
But some people look at that as their time, like their alone time. If they're working all day,
I guess
they want to decompress and be by themselves.
How come I'm not like that? I just want to decompress with you and watch TV with you.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing.
That's me.
Well, we're a little different. Like, I get a bit of alone time now in the afternoon and stuff. So at night I'm all good. But maybe because let's say you could work all day, and then you want to decompress with me, which is beautiful. I should be flattered.
I hope so.
But at the same
I'm
time,
choosing you to decompress with.
True, but you're not the type to ever. Well, sometimes I guess
What?
to ever like want to be alone. Completely.
I like being alone, but I feel like now I get longer car rides, and that's my alone time that I have to think, and I appreciate that, and oftentimes you still fall asleep before me, so I have like a half an hour to myself.
Yeah, it's important. It's so important.
Oh no, I'm an only child, so look, I'm plenty happy of being alone and appreciating alone time and wanting it. It's a bit different now, we have 2 kids and a house and husband. But I mean, if you could set aside half an hour every day just for you time, it's important. And I do think everybody should do that. And then that's why you get mad at me sometimes. Like when you go to bed, or let's say we're both in bed together and you fall asleep, and I'm kind of like pushing you away from me.
I know, I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
I'm not ready to go to bed. I don't want to fall asleep
but
now.
You just want to
so
go on
I
Instagram.
just want to go, not even Instagram. I just want to read the news, because sometimes I don't have time to read it during the day. Or if I want to find a recipe for dinner the next night, like that is my time.
Always.
But you call me out on it and say, you're always on your phone. You ain't go to bed. The screen's no good for
No,
you at
'cause
night.
hold
But
on.
it actually puts me to sleep.
I wake up sometimes, but sometimes I go pee at like 1:30 in the morning, 2:00 in the morning.
And I'm up.
And Tina's on. She I think she's sleeping. I look over. I see like the light of the screen, and I'm like, babe, what are you doing? You're like, I'm looking up recipes. I don't know what are we gonna make for dinner tomorrow.
Okay,
It's like,
that is when I actually cannot sleep.
that's crazy.
So
to me.
I try to read stuff to help me fall asleep. Or it's my thoughts that keep me awake, and that's why I'm on my phone.
But you're on Pinterest for like an hour and a half.
No, that's exaggerating.
Okay, I'm exaggerating, but I don't know how long, but it feels like a long time.
Anyway, back to our conversation, which was us watching TV together.
TV. Yeah.
So we actually have quite a few shows that we enjoy watching together.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that we watch TV together, and even the fact that I like sports. So like we sit down and we watch hockey games together. Now the Canadians are going to be starting up again.
I know, I'm very lucky.
So we watch those together. You watched a lot of Euro Cup games with me this past summer. So, and there's maybe like a couple of TV shows that you'll watch that I'm not so into, but I'll still sit down with you, even if I'm on my phone, but I'm still waiting. I'm like kind of listening at the same time.
Yeah,
no, aren't you? And you're doing the same thing when I'm watching something that you don't like or not that into, but you're still kind of half listening.
Yeah, but last night you literally were shocked because you went out to the store real quick. You came back. I started watching a show. And
yeah.
Babe, what are you doing? I'm like, I started a show. I can't watch TV by myself.
Yes,
like,
you can.
What's wrong with that?
I think you misunderstood me there. I just heard some sounds and I was like, where's this coming from? I thought it was your phone because most of the time when I come home, I find you on your phone or on the computer. So
I just wanted to
it
watch
was
the show.
weird to come home and find you in front of the TV,
Yeah, but
which
it's
would
like-
never do that.
It's like you were upset at me that I didn't ask you or wait for you.
No, because I
To
didn't
watch
care.
the
You were
show.
watching a show that I couldn't care less, and then I came and I lied down next to you and I fell asleep.
Yeah, that's
So it
true.
kind of worked out for both of us. You got to watch what you wanted, and I got the rest.
It's true, but I was just like, babe, why are you pissed at me? Like,
And
what the hell?
remember, we have one TV in the house.
Yeah, I know. That's our choice. We've
That is our
chosen
choice.
That. We've chosen that.
We have no TVs in the bedrooms, no TV on our main living
which works
floor.
well for us. We like it that way, actually. We prefer it that way because that way it doesn't give you the option for the other one to like sneak out and go watch something else.
Well, technically, you could on the iPad or the laptop, like you can if you
it's
want
true.
to.
But you've been in another relationship for me. Like we had one in the bedroom and one in the living room.
Okay.
And like sometimes we literally find ourselves like one person in the bedroom, and it was a condo. One person in the bedroom, one person in the living room. You're both watching two different shows, and you're literally like 20 feet away from each other. It was ridiculous.
I don't know. There's something strange about that.
I thought it was stupid.
It's not even stupid, but I just wonder about like the quality of the relationship or how
The intimacy.
the intimacy. Is there any like I don't know. Us just sitting down on the couch, decompressing, cuddling. It's so nice, and like watching a show or a movie that we enjoy. I love that. I think more couples should take advantage of that and just
True.
enjoy that together alone time. And most of the time, especially when you're working and you have children, your only time to be a couple is at night after the kids are down and everything is done around the house. So why not sit down in front of the TV together, watch a common show, even if one is not so into it, big deal.
Yeah.
You know, just sit down and enjoy the time together, cuddle, kiss, talk, whatever, eat, munch on a little something. I don't know. I find it so important, but that's me.
No,
but to
you're
each their own.
You're right. Like I see your point because I agree with you in a lot of ways, but I'm trying to see it from another perspective. There are people. Let's say they work all day, right? And there's one show that they really want to watch that they love. It's like, oh my god, I gotta watch the show, and their partner absolutely hates it. Like, and they both have this small little window of like, oh my god, I only have 2 hours before I go to sleep.
Fine.
So you come home, you're like, well, I'll watch my show and you watch your show. I guess if it makes them both happy.
But to do it every night.
No, well,
I don't know. Even on weekends. Like, I don't know.
Well, I don't know how many people do that.
I don't know either, but I'm sure that there's people who do that. And
Yeah, like us, we're always,
we're always together.
We're always together. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
It's great.
I know.
And then
Of course, we get on each other's nerves
even when I'm
sometimes.
watching a show and Tina doesn't like it, like her legs are like she lies down and she puts her legs all over me on my stomach and she's scratch my back.
That's a good compromise. You get to watch what you want, and I get a massage out of it. A foot massage.
And I'm like, oh my god, like,
Yeah.
are we this couple now?
But we like to do things together. We like to go shopping together. We've taken so many walks in the days together, especially when I was still home. We'd go walk to go get coffee together or just walk to the pharmacy or to the dollar store. Like, it's just so nice to have that time. And I think maybe we're unique in that sense because I was home and you have a job that allows you to be home most of the day. So I think we're unique compared to other couples like that. But now I'm back at work, so
Yes, I get some alone time.
you get a lot of alone time, and I get alone time battling traffic every day for an hour.
I know, babe. Don't worry, it's gonna get better.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna get better. Yeah, yeah.
Not until the REM is built.
I know. But it's just funny because even sometimes people will see me somewhere and they're like, so where's your wife? Where's Tina? It's like because they just assume that you're with me. Let's say I go to the store or something. Where's Tina? I don't. Is she okay? I'm like, yeah. What the hell? Like, are we that couple really now for the next
but like even for
50 years?
parties and stuff, we always go together. And I know that sometimes you'll go and see your mother without me because like you'll go right after work. And to me, sometimes it's still weird because I'm like,
Why? Why is that
because we
weird?
always see my parents together.
Yeah, I
like
know,
we go to their house or they come to our house. So no, I'm just bringing up an
You're
example.
right,
It's
you're right.
nice that you go and see her and you have this time in the day to
know.
go and see her. But to me, it's just like, but I'm not part of it, and neither are the girls.
I know, but there's even been times too where like you've wanted to go eat at your parents. I'm like, listen, I'm tired.
Okay,
I
I
got
think
work
in
to
5
do.
years it's happened like 2 times.
Yeah, but you were like almost like insulted.
Of course I was.
And I'm like, why? Just if I don't go, it's disrespectful, I guess, because we're married and I have to, right?
And how about all the times when you have, I guess it's a bit disrespectful. It
Yes.
is because I will always go somewhere with you, even if I'm pissed at you or whatever. I will, if we're committed to going somewhere, and I will go with you. I will never back out in the last minute because
I know.
that's happened to me in the
Thank you.
past. and it's not fun. I find it rude and insulting. So.
Mm.
It completely disrespectful.
Yeah.
But
By the way, is it okay to wear like sweatpants to your in-laws' house when
No.
you're married?
no, please agree with me. You cannot wear sweatpants. You know, if it is a
Well,
nice
we're
pair of
married
pants,
now.
kind
Who
of like the
cares?
ones you're wearing right now.
No one's paying attention to me.
yes,
They're paying attention
yes,
to the
because
kids.
whenever my parents come over, they are always nicely dressed.
Yeah, well,
My dad, even if he comes in jeans and a polo, like, you know, he's always well dressed.
your parents don't care. They love me
They
for
do.
me.
They just
they
maybe
don't
don't tell you. They're a bit old fashioned that way.
really. So you think they're
I
looking
still
at my
think that
attire?
they are. I still think that they are. Yes, attire, clothing. My parents work in the industry. They work in the needle trade. It's so important for
Babe,
them.
you wanted me to call them Mr. and Mrs.
Initially, just to be respectful,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then let them correct you and say, "Call me Mary and Tony."
And then you
which is
wanted me
exactly
to call
what
them
happened.
Mom and Dad, which
Well,
never
that just
happened,
doesn't
yeah.
happen anymore in our day and age. I don't think I know anybody of our generation that calls their in-laws mom and
No,
dad.
It's changed, but you wanted
Yeah.
that initially. Remember that?
Because I thought it was a nice tradition.
Yeah, I know, but
But then I realized that it just doesn't work
no,
today.
it's not
It's
1977.
1970s,
you know what I mean?
1980s, yeah.
Anyway, we're together right now, and we'll after we close this podcast,
We're going to go and watch a TV show
We're gonna
together.
end up being together, and
Go to
then
bed together.
and then we'll go to bed, and we'll wake up tomorrow together, and that's marriage.
And we'll have breakfast together.
And then every day is just doing things together and together.
And there's
together.
nothing wrong with that.
No,
Because
no,
we
no,
still do
not
have
at
our
all.
alone times, and we have times when we spend
Yes.
with our own friends.
That's why
right?
pick the right
Right?
person. Yes, you're right. You're
You know,
right. We
you-
have our own life.
We have
Yeah.
our own separate life apart from our marriage, so
That's
it's
it, you're
nice,
right.
you know. And how about all the times I've gone to parties with you that you've hosted,
Yeah, I know.
that you've
I'm lucky.
DJ'd. You know, we've had weekends away where I've come with you to parties up north or wherever.
Mhm, I
So
know.
I love that I can join you on these things, that you want me there. At least I think you want me there.
I think so, depending on my
Oh.
mood.
When was it? 2 years ago, before the pandemic, I was like 8 months pregnant and dancing away at a Christmas party that you
I
were
know.
DJing, and
the
like
baby was gonna pop
it was
out.
it was an emergency room of a hospital. They
Yeah.
were full of doctors and nurses, and they're all like, "You're gonna pop with the way you're dancing."
I thought the baby was gonna fall right out during the Macarena. Anyway, yeah, so we're gonna end the podcast here, and then just probably go watch something together, and then your legs are gonna be all over me, and I won't be able to move for an hour.
Of course,
I'm looking forward to that. But thank you for listening. I'm just kidding, babe. Relax.
no, I love you.
We love you. We love you for listening. And don't forget, you can check us out wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart. We're everywhere. Marriage in the Fast Lane. Give us a follow on Instagram too. DM us. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to connect with you. Did you like this episode? Can you relate?
Do you have any topics
yeah,
that
any-
you'd like us to talk about?
Please let us know. Shoot us a message. Don't be shy. And you can find us on YouTube as well if that's where you listen or you like to watch this podcast, as you can see us right now as we're waving into the camera. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.